Hey everyone, welcome to my September Orchids in Bloom, and we're going to start off with a couple of orchids that were in bud in the last video. But this is the Cattleya intermedia variation Amethysta Glosser, and I am surprised by these blooms. They're a very understated, elegant flower and a medium-sized flower, not fragrant at all, but the petals are quite waxy and reflective and a lot stiffer than your typical puffy, fluffy Cattleya flower. And even so, the lip is still very frilly and still sticks out like a little trumpet, but it's got this very subtle pink purple stripe down the center, and you can see it fading out into a light pink at the edges. I think it's really pretty. You know, there's something very simple but elegant about it. Next up, we've got a little Howeara, and we're featuring Toby here as well. But this is Howeara Chancy, lovely, and no pun intended, but it is a really lovely little orchid with tiny flowers about 1.5 centimeters across, but the lip is this vibrant yellow with little dark red spotting. The petals and sepals are mostly like a browny red colour, but the contrast is really very pretty. So this is the first blooming for this orchid, so not too many flowers there. I've got 5 on this spike, and 4 on the second spike there. Hi Toby. But yeah, that will bloom soon, and I've actually placed it on my desk so I can enjoy the blooms. But healthy looking plant, about 4 pseudobulbs there, and I repotted it when I got it a few months ago, and a month later it chucked out some spikes. So yeah, very easy plant, pretty fuss free. The variation there is CT Goldmine, so yeah, I recommend this one. Okay, so here's a plant that nobody but me is really going to care about, but you're all watching this so you'll have to listen. But it's my first nobly that I've overwintered and flowered. It's got one single flower, and I'm going to show it to you all, even though the whole thing is very unimpressive. But it's a beautiful little pink flower with a yellow throat, and very small plant, but you can see there's an old spike there from before, and you'll notice that it is just a single spike, so maybe it only chucks out 1 flower a year, which would be a bit sad. But it's got a nice fragrance to it, nice sweet fragrance, and it's a Dendrobium Shinonome. So this is the newest Cattleya in my collection. My auntie gave it to me about 3 weeks ago or so, and at the time it had 2 open flowers, and now the rest of the blooms have opened, and it's a really beautiful flower. This is what it's called, Topaz Impact, and certainly does make an impact. Like, simple white petals, but check out the lip. And I'll tell you, it's even more vibrant in real life. It's a beautiful deep fuchsia colour with a very bright yellow throat. It's really in your face. But you can see that there's very subtle yellow stripes on those lateral sepals. A little bit of water or moisture damage there from flowers that had already opened. But a striking plant, and it's fragrant. It's got a really beautiful floral fragrance to it, with a hint of sweetness, but mostly floral. Big plant. So it is a big plant. I don't have a lot of big Cattleyas, but this one's quite sizable, but I absolutely love it. Next we've got my Rhynchostylis gigantea cultivar spots, and I must say it's one of my favourite flowers ever. How cute are they? It's almost too cute for words. They're little flowers, but just really adorable. And the features on it are also just really cute. Look at the little pink spots on it, and that beautiful pink lip that just comes out like at 90 degrees basically to the flower. Very nice. It's extremely fragrant. It smells quite citrusy and sweet in the morning, but in the evening that fragrance fades and there's this background undertone of rubber or plastic, which I don't like at all, but that's what it smells like in the evenings. But during the day, lovely fragrance, and really strong. Every time you walk past it, you will know it's there. The plant is a little bit damaged. I got it in this condition. I have not changed the potting or anything like that, but I got this one and another Vanda type, which I'm going to show you next. So this is Ryps Dixie Delight, which is Rhynchostylis gigantea crossed with another Vanda type, which I can't remember. But you can see it's got a lot of the gigantea traits, but maybe a slightly bigger flower, darker colouring, but still has the same fragrance. It's still that sweet citrusy fragrance which fades into a little bit of a plasticky scent. But unfortunately over winter most of the buds blasted on this, so I'm hoping for next time round some better blooms from both of them. Here we do have another nobile type dendrobium. It's Dendrobium Euryalus, and I know I said that I hadn't bloomed any other nobile types, but I did bloom this one. However, it started throwing out flower spikes as soon as I got it, so it wasn't because of my excellent winter care that it bloomed. Someone else looked after it very well and it bloomed for me, so I can't take credit for it this year unfortunately. But check out these flowers, they are really very adorable, and you can see green at the back of the throat there, which I don't know, I just think that's really cool. It's like a little alien back there. And it's got a very deep magenta lip in there, and the petals just fade out to the slightest of pinks. Very, very pretty. Still got a couple of buds there left to bloom, and it is fragrant. It is slightly sweet, slightly floral, very slight fragrance. It's not strong at all. It did have some spider mites on it, and you can see that it's got that silvery back of the leaves, which is indicative of spider mite damage. So I've given it a spray. It's due for another spray next week, but unfortunately, as much as I hate, treating these plants while they're in bud, I really don't want spider mites through my collection. So yes, it is getting a treatment, and it's isolated from other plants at the moment. But yeah, that's a shame. And lastly, I wanted to show you guys my Phals that have just started opening up. It's usually a pretty good sign that the weather's warming up and spring's around the corner. I'll start down here with this little Phal Allura Victoria's Glory. And for a first blooming, there's really a good number of buds on there. The flowers are pretty cute. They are quite delicate actually. The petals are almost translucent. Sort of see shadowing of my finger behind there, but they're a nice little yellow-green colour. And you can see that the lip is a little bit narrow. Quite a sweet little flower. It has a fragrance that's quite grassy, but I do remember that my other Allura started off with that
sort of fragrance, and as it developed and matured, it turned into one of my favorite fragrances actually. It just became this sweet, sweet fragrance with like a hint of spice, and it pretty much fills the room. Like, it's really nice. So I'm hoping it develops into that, because as much as I love the smell of like a freshly mowed lawn on a flower, I prefer different fragrances. So next I'll show you this one with its first flower open. It's a Phalaenopsis my grandma gave me, and it's only got a few buds there, but if you remember from previous videos, I got this one from my grandma earlier this year with a second flush of blooms on its spike, because my grandma doesn't cut her flower spikes, and I repotted it, cut the flower spike, and this guy lost a couple of leaves and then chucked out a new flower spike straight away, so it's never really gone into its growth phase with me. It kind of skipped it all together. So needs a little bit more of an energy store, I think, to produce more flowers. But they are very pretty flowers. I really adore this this yellow. And I'm not sure if the camera's going to capture it, but they glisten in the sun, these petals. And some beautiful dark red veining there. Really like that flower. So we'll move on to this guy, which is the DTPS Red Toccata. And also a fairly impressive number of blooms for a first blooming. But how lovely is that deep crimson colour? It's almost velvety, isn't it? Like, it feels velvety too. It's I love how uniform that colour is throughout all the petals and the lip. Really nice. I wasn't expecting it to be this dark. And we've got my little mini Phal here with its second flush of blooms, and again there's about 20 buds there waiting to open, so it's gonna be quite nice as well. I do actually remember the first flush of blooms having a lighter colouring, so maybe because these ones developed through winter, the flowers are a little bit darker. But a cute little thing, really lovely patterning on the lip. And last but not least, we've got this pretty pink Phal, which I did actually feature in last month's Orchies in Bloom video, but now she's in full bloom. And she's also my first big Phal that I've sort of successfully created, like, you know, the cascade. Well, kind of. It probably needs a few more flowers actually to to make a proper cascade, but it's alright, still looks really nice. And blooms are so huge on this Phal. And I love the shape of these petals here. Just looks like a big moth. Beautiful Phal. Well guys, I'm going to leave you with a little teaser for next month. This is, let's see, Odontocitium Tiger Crow Golden Girl. And you can see the patterning and the coloration start to come through on these buds now. So she's going to be opening up not too long from now, I reckon. And I think next month we're going to see some nice blooms because it'll be the middle of spring. And yeah, I think we're going to start to see a few things happen as all the plants start to get a little bit like of a boost of warmth. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. Toby loved this video, didn't you, buddy? Yep. Alright, so guys, give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, give it a thumbs down if you didn't, and let me know in the comments section below what you thought of this video, whether you liked it or you hated it. And yeah, subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more videos like this, and I will see you guys next time, and happy growing until then. Bye!